When you interviewed Luke, did it look like he had gained a little bit of weight?
Hey.
Yeah, no, I did actually notice that. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I did notice, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
Listen, you're not the one who should be talking about weight here, Jeremy. Okay.
Hey, look,
fat shaming fat camp.
I'm at my lowest weight of 2025. Is that true for you, Luke?
You son of a I'm calling RFK right now. We're setting up fat
bring RFK into this.
You're going to be very small, or you're going to have to lose weight to get out of there, Jeremy. God darn it. Don't you dare. I did get a little fat though. I did.
But so I'm just going to we're going to go down the line here. In our kind of official Trump Epstein disaster, I'm going to let Luke lead because I'm sure he's got a lot to say. But what do you make of the last 48 hours? It's like there's been a clear, I feel like all the people that got the binders, they got the same communication from people and said like, all right, we're moving on. We're just moving on. It seems like those marching orders were issued, but
100%. No. I know this for a fact. Trump's calling up content creators and saying, "Stop talking about this, or else your access is going to be pulled. We're going to cut you off."
There was that with Charlie Kirk, right? Allegedly. Well, he had a pretty strong about face.
It's a lot of other people that are content creators that are getting phone calls from either big donors or Donald Trump themselves and saying, "Stop talking about this now." I sent you a clip of Trump talking about how this is, foolish. This is all Russiagate somehow. And again, I called out Russiagate when Russiagate was happening. To the point
everyone knew that was fake.
I had my channel demonetized when I was calling out Russiagate. The Washington Post called me a Russian fake news asset, right? And I stood behind President Trump during Russiagate because that was a real legitimate thing. This is not the same thing. This is something that's been in the works for 30 plus years, international blackmailing, child trafficking operation with some of the most powerful, prominent people in the world. And you're telling me, as you're standing next to Bergrum, who's Bill Gates' best friend, and Howard Lutnick, Epstein's former neighbor and literal business partner, you're standing next to these two guys and you're telling us nothing to see here, folks. Forget it. So the optics of those two guys being around him highlight, I think, two of the most kind of biggest pressure campaigns inside of the Trump White House, telling him to obfuscate this, since they're clearly, a lot of people say they are clearly involved here, as well as other individuals that have been big Trump supporters and donors like Peter Thiel that are involved here with Epstein as well here. So a lot of prominent people are involved here, and it's pretty clear here. The more Trump acts like this, the bigger of a Streisand effect it is. I disagree with influencers saying that it's just Twitter. No, it is not. I think that's one of the talking points going out there. When we were with Sarah, I think you were there too. When we were eating the last meal with everyone. We had ALX there. We had all these people. We were all at that lunch. The people next to us that were separate away from the conference were talking about Epstein. This is
they were, they weren't even part of the Turning Point conference.
Exactly. It was random normies.
Jokes with them about it. Yeah.
Random normies that were talking about Epstein, and they're like, "Hey, what conference are you guys at?" We were like, "We're at the Jeffrey Epstein conference," because everyone there was talking about Jeffrey Epstein. No one will forget or excuse this, including his face.
And I think also it's worth mentioning that this isn't something that you have to be a MAGA person to care about, or you're some kind of conspiracy theorist to care about. It's just your average person thinks that Jeffrey Epstein's evil and kind of knows that they don't trust our government and our government's involved with this crazy blackmail pedophile ring. Your average person actually does kind of believe that. They do think that's important, and they obviously want to see those people thrown in jail. I don't think most people are going to argue against throwing pedophiles in jail, right? And so obviously, yes, it's something that people care about, and the left cares about it too. My leftist liberal friends all care about this as well. So you can't even just pretend it's not like the QAnon thing. That's what they're trying to turn it into. It's no, we all know this happened. I mean, I remember before I was even into politics, knowing all about Jeffrey Epstein just from watching Netflix documentaries and things like that. It's just one of those things everyone knows, and we're all just I guess we'll never get justice on it. And we kind of were gaslit into thinking we were going to get justice, and now we're being gaslit into thinking, I don't know, Epstein just killed himself, and the list just doesn't exist at all. It's just so ridiculous. And I hate really, I'm so pissed at Trump. That's the kind of the main person, because it's like you can't really have faith in any of these other people. They're all just pawns and everything. But it's like you kind of hope that at least Trump wouldn't turn on his own base like this. It's so blackpilling, honestly.
So what's your ideal resolution here? Like after the last couple of weeks of all the statements come out, what would be the scenario that they all then turn around again and say, actually, there is a list and here it is? Would that be stored for us?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have the opportunity to make it right, dig deeper into it. And we were talking about this last night on The Rift. We were talking about the fact, like, you know what? Maybe there is a good reason why they're not releasing it, such as maybe the list that they have was doctored in some way by the Democrats and people are on it that aren't actually guilty or something. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there could be some reason why they're like, oh, shoot, like, maybe we don't want to release this yet or whatever. Why don't they just be transparent about that? Why don't they just tell us why it is? They're not really being honest about it, and they're just, switching out their talking points every 24 hours.
That's the biggest problem I have. By the way, shout out to Holy Moly Fire who subscribed, and Bars, please, over on Twitch. Very cool. That's my biggest problem, is that like a lot of the like cat turds out there and like the people who are just huffing pure copium are like giving me the trust the plan vibes. And they're like, well, but there's a reason, prosecution takes a while. And it's like, but Trump has never said that. They never said, hey, we haven't released the files because we're prosecuting people, which by the way, they could very well say. Like, there's nothing stopping them from saying, hey, if it were true, what I would have said was, yeah, we're going through the file, with a fine-tooth comb right now, and we're looking at, pressing new charges against people, so we can't release it right now. And like, then everyone just gives him, at least, 6 months or a year, then you better start charging people. But like, that's not what, like, my biggest issue is with what the mega influencers keep putting out in like clickbait, and like what Trump is actually saying and what Trump is actually doing.
Yeah. Trump
is actually saying it's fake news. Trump is actually telling people to stop talking about it. And his sycophants, by the way, and I love Trump. Okay, I'm talking about like the cultists. We're talking about like a very small group of people. But like those people are like, no, Trump's gonna release it. I mean, like, I had like a little mini meltdown last night because like, one of the biggest personalities in the space, Benny Johnson, put out a video that stated as fact, look at this, Trump stuns political world, calls for DOJ and FBI to release Epstein files. And then it says, quote, give them everything. He fucking didn't say that. He fucking didn't say that. This video has 800,000 views already in 24 hours. And I'm like, Benny, like, and by the way, I watched the video. Of course he didn't say that. Nobody's watching this closer than Luke and I.
We're just making stuff up now.
We're just making stuff up now. Right.
It's just pure copium. We're just like pretending. We're like, wouldn't it be awesome if Trump said this? And then just like, yeah, so he did. Like, that's just so delusional. It's wild.
Right. 800,000 views. So I put out a video this morning and I'm like, yo, Benny's out of pocket. Like, he's just lying in this video. Yeah. And like,
crazy.
And then like, my video is going to get 70,000 views. You know what I mean? Like, I can't defeat it. I can't. Like, Moist Critical puts out a video about the Epstein list, completely uneducated, gets 7 million views. Like, Luke puts out a video about it. One of the most well-read people on it, he can't break 100,000. Like, I'm getting so frustrated in the information war. Like, Trump is just going to brute force this. He's just going to have all of his little, binder people, change the narrative, and that will be the narrative. I went to this video. I single it out because I'm like, wow, he must have gotten a bunch of downvotes and a bunch of people saying, what, he didn't say this. Nope, not a single negative comment in the whole comment section. Not a single person saying, this is crazy clickbait. Not a people, nothing. Everyone's just like, yeah. And I'm like, what? He didn't say that.
They're like, we did it. He's finally, Trump's going to do it. Yeah.
Right.
We're just so cooked.
We're cooked. Right. It's over. This Epstein file thing is over.
People realize just like how stupid your average person is. Like, not even to sound rude, but it's like your average person will just see that and be like, whoa, I guess that's true. I'm not even going to read the article and like move on with their lives.
Content creators out there who might be interested in the Epstein issue. They might not be, but they can see that it's trending right now. So they're going to put out thumbnails and titles that will direct people to click based on whatever narrative they're most interested in. I
and
mean,
what
there is
people want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, just that's an opportunistic way to operate. I'm not saying it's with integrity or it's not what all creators are doing, but I think there are some people who are saying like, I could say what happened, or I could say it this way, but if I phrase it in the most pro-Trump light, I know this video will do well. And that's not really something that Luke is going to do, or it doesn't sound like something Jeremy's going to do.
Yeah, I can't lie. I can't say, hey guys, it's all going to be hunky dory. Trump's going to do the right thing. And I mean, Trump's calling us weaklings. Trump is.
He says we're stupid and we fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
that's Trump's own words.
Yeah. I just put up an image. I think you should you should put up the image that I just sent you. But there's a road to redemption, and it's pretty simple and it's pretty easy.
Just
all
release
Trump
the files.
has to do is say it's in the private chat.
I get it.
Yeah. All Trump has to do is say, okay, I'm going to release the files. If there's a hoax in there, I'm going to tell you what the hoax is. All right. And the people who did the hoax and people who lied and hid information, we're going to arrest them right now. And we're going to criminally charge them. And we're going to hold them accountable, just like they held me accountable, just like they arrested me. I'm going to make sure that we're actually going to do this a right way. And we're going to take your concerns seriously, because this is something that I promised you, that you voted for, and that I'm going to stop gaslighting you about. And here's the information. And here's the powerful people that are implicated here that deserve some scrutiny and should be held accountable. And now we'll have charges pressed against them if they did hurt children. Let's bring in the victims. Let's release all of it. Let's go. That's what he could do. And then the world would be a lot better. And I think it was James O'Keefe that said, would the world be better if we get unredacted information or redacted information? It's pretty clear here. The more honesty, transparency, and accountability we have in government, the better government works for us. Now that we have this, we understand how the government works and has always been working, and it's being run on blackmail and child extortion and trafficking. And that is sick, and that is a system that a lot of people don't want to be a part of, and a lot of people will just move away from and never vote again in their lives because of this situation.
There's people in the chat saying, where was all this energy during the Biden years? And it's like, I don't think anyone had any hope that Biden
never said he was going to release it.
Epstein files. Yeah, exactly. Trump's promised us this, right? His FBI Dan Bongino said this was going to happen.
Kash Patel said he was going to release it. Kash Patel said he was going to turn
the on her desk. So yeah, that's why we're and also because Trump's like our guy, we're gonna a
little harder on him.
He's going to work for us. I don't think Biden was our guy. We didn't really expect him to do it, so no, we weren't going to pressure him. Like no one even thought that was going to happen. He was a puppet, right? Like
on some like if he wants me to believe that the Democrats invented Epstein, basically, then you have to release the files, and I will and I will believe it. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
and show us what's a hoax and tell us what they made up, and hold the people accountable for making it up.
Yeah, I actually had like evidence that it's a hoax.
I actually had empathy for Trump at a certain point where he was like, I'm doing a lot of other stuff and I don't want this to be the focus of my administration. I think you should still release the files. I think it's still like, if this is your key issue, if this is passionate, like definitely still talk about it. I think what's getting worse is like, we're now going to, it goes from being like, why are we still talking about this, to being like, actually the Democrats, this is their thing. And then to me, that seems like it's a step away from being frustration into just being deceitful. And that's the concern, I think, for all elected officials.